What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of our outlooks for 2025's MLB season. In this episode, we have the Chicago Cubs, who, in my opinion, have put themselves in the best position to win a very mid-division that is the NL Central. So let's get into their moves, let's get into their losses, their rotation, their lineup. So let's go. So the Cubs finished 83-79 last year and didn't really have a lot of major free agents that they were ironing to bring back. The biggest loss that they have was probably just one of them. It was just Kyle Hendricks 1 year, 2.5, and he was a starter that wasn't really loved that much from the social media aspect of what I see going on to the Cubs side of Twitter things. Another big name they lost was Mike Tauchman, 1 year, 1.95 to the Chicago White Sox. But other than that, those two aren't going to be difference makers for this Cubs team. They were not going to be on this Cubs team that we have this year because overall they have been replaced by much better pieces. So let's get into their projected lineup and rotation for 2025. So the Chicago Cubs projected lineup for opening day looks like this: Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, which we'll get into in a second, Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, Pete Crow Armstrong, Matt Shaw, and Miguel Amaya. Let's just talk about Kyle Tucker here. So Kyle Tucker was traded from the Houston Astros to the Chicago Cubs in a blockbuster a couple months ago after the winter meetings concluded. So basically the Cubs put themselves at this move right there in the best position to win the NL Central, in my opinion. So let's just take a brief look at Kyle Tucker's quick 2025 projection. So taking a look at Kyle Tucker's projections for the 2025 season, I think the Cubs are going to be getting a very good version of Kyle Tucker. So in his first year at Wrigley Field, they have him projected from going up from 23 home runs to 30, a batting average of 270 down from 289, and OBP dropping from 408 to 361, slugging from 585 to 488, WOBA from 419 to 363, WRC plus from 180 to 137, and his WAR going up from a 4.2 to a 4.7. What I look at the most whenever I see Kyle Tucker's projections is this: 30 home runs. I think he's going to be a beast in Chicago. I think this is the move that the Cubs made to propel themselves to be the early favorites in this division, which I think it has, because when you look at the rest of the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers, they'll more than likely still be involved, even though they lost a Willie Adames and a Devin Williams. But here's the thing about the Brewers. They're always in it, but they'll probably finish worse than last year. The Reds and Pirates right now are fighting for third and fourth place, in my opinion, and the Cardinals did absolutely nothing this offseason, but who knows? The Cardinals are still the Cardinals. They'll always be involved. But honestly, this move propelled the Cubs into the part of the division where you would expect them to probably win it and be the NL Central's probably only playoff team. As we scroll down, however, when we go to their bench, they made a lot of free agent moves. They added a Carson Kelly to be a backup catcher. They just signed before this a couple days ago Justin Turner. He's 40 years old, but a very solid league vet. He's still projected a .6 WAR, so he can still basically hit at the age he is. John Birdie they brought in as a free agent a month ago. Vidal Brujan they traded for. So their entire bench projection are guys that weren't on the team last year. When I look at their rotation, however, I think it is a very solid rotation. Shota Imanaga is the ace. Justin Steele, Jamison Tyone, Matthew Boyd, who is a free agent, and Javier Assad. I think Assad had a great year last year. They haven't projected a .9 WAR, 4.29 ERA. I think that is where it is going to be. Maybe his WAR will be a little higher. They actually have Justin Steele as the guy in the rotation with the highest WAR projection by .1 over a Shota Imanaga. But Shota Imanaga, I think, is the best pitcher on this team. Justin Steele, a very close second. Now let's get to their bullpen, which honestly might be the weakness of this team. Ryan Presley, who they traded for. They made 2 trades with the Houston Astros this offseason. Porter Hodge, Ryan Brazier, Tyson Miller, Caleb Thielbar, Keegan Thompson, Julian Merriweather, and Colin Ray. This bullpen kind of worries me, especially with the projected WAR they have. The highest projection is Ryan Presley, their new closer, a .9 WAR. Presley, 36 years old, a 3.38 projected ERA with 25 projected saves. I think Ryan Presley will be fine, but if the back end of this bullpen kind of struggles, they could be in trouble. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Cubs made a minor move before the season starts to just add, I guess, a bullpen arm of some kind. I know Lance Lynn has been projected as a guy that might be moving into a closer's role. He is still a free agent. Who knows if the Cubs would want to bring on Lance Lynn, but honestly, if he's looking to still pitch and he can't be a starter anymore, I'd throw him in the bullpen because I would kind of take Lance Lynn over some of these guys. But overall, that is the weakness of the Cubs. It is the bullpen. Overall, however, they look pretty good. So overall, I think the Cubs are going to be the only team in the NL Central probably to make the playoffs. I wouldn't be shocked if the Brewers give them a run for their money. I wouldn't also be shocked if the Cubs somehow are subpar. It's just the NL Central is a complete wild card. No one really knows who is going to win this. One team could be really good, and then the other day they could be complete garbage. I honestly think, though, the Cubs have put themselves, with their move, especially for a Kyle Tucker, to put them in the best position to win this division, or at least guarantee a wild card spot if the Brewers or someone else somehow win this division. But overall, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are almost to 300 subscribers. I would love to hit that before opening day. We are getting very close. Make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts down below about the Chicago Cubs, and I will see you next time.